Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jikook Moment, where love doesn't always come through words, but through the simplest gestures. In the dazzling world of entertainment, where spotlights shine bright and glamour dominates, there are moments that stop time. Moments that weren't designed for virality, but instead touch hearts through their sincerity. That day at Incheon Airport, it wasn't a stage performance that stole the spotlight. Not flashy outfits or exaggerated expressions, but the gaze of a Hyung who waited, a warm handhold, and a small smile that appeared only when someone special was near. Yes, Jimin was waiting for Jungkook, and from that moment, everything turned into a story we'll never forget. In the midst of the entertainment world's frenzy, filled with flashing cameras and roaring fans, we often forget that behind the big names and grand stages, it's the small, unplanned moments that hold the most meaning. Moments without a script, not created by a production team, not intended for virality, but born out of pure intention. That day, Incheon International Airport buzzed with camera flashes, the hurried footsteps of idols, and gasps of admiration from fans. But then, one simple moment stopped time for anyone who witnessed it. Jimin waited for Jungkook. To some, it might have seemed like just a polite gesture from a Hyung. But to those who understand Jimin and Jungkook's bond, what fans lovingly call Jikook, that moment meant everything. When the first car pulled up, Jimin stepped out first. As always, he looked neat and composed, walking calmly with that soothing presence of his. He could have just walked into the airport like the others. But he didn't. His steps halted. He looked back, toward the still-closed vehicle. His expression remained neutral, but his eyes revealed something: hope. He wasn't alone. He was waiting for someone, Jungkook. Moments later, the car door opened, and Jungkook appeared. A fleeting look of confusion crossed his face, like someone waking from a daydream. But only for a moment. When he saw who was waiting for him, everything changed. A small smile crept across his face, maybe from relief, or maybe because someone had been patiently waiting just for him. Then, something profoundly simple yet deeply meaningful happened. They held hands. Yes, that was it. But look closer. That handhold wasn't just a gesture. It was a language of the heart, a silent embrace in its most minimal, yet most sincere form. Since BTS's debut, Jimin has been the most protective figure toward Jungkook. Not just a Hyung, a home. On stage and behind the scenes, Jimin's care for Jungkook has always been evident. He's not the talkative type, but he shows his love through actions. Waiting for Jungkook to get out of the car wasn't a grand move. But that's exactly who Jimin is. He notices the little things. He knows when to step back, when to walk beside someone, and when to be the first to hold the hand of someone who matters to him. Jimin is the type of person who can read emotions before they're spoken. He knows when Jungkook needs space, when he needs support, and when simply standing there without a word is enough. To Jungkook, Jimin is more than a Hyung. He's someone who's witnessed his transformation, from a shy teenager to the confident global icon he is today. And that love, though never spoken outright, has always been there, shown through small, consistent gestures like this. Jungkook, once bashful, is now self-assured. But in front of Jimin, he's still that little kid who once got a kiss on the cheek in the practice room, who was comforted after grueling rehearsals, who was hugged when he cried. Those memories never faded. They just matured into a new form: deep trust. Fans welcomed the moment with overflowing emotion. Social media lit up with clips, screenshots, and captions filled with hearts. Many wrote, "Look how cute they are holding hands." But more than cute, the moment felt warm, sincere, pure. Because in a world where so much can be faked, moments like this feel real. This wasn't a stage. This wasn't a concept. It was two people who know each other beyond work, a bond that grew quietly, strengthened by time, and sustained by mutual care. In the middle of all the chaos, the constant shutter clicks and fans screaming, there was a small space that belonged to just the two of them. In that handhold, the outside world didn't matter. What mattered was that they were there for each other. A language without words. No need for theories. No need for speculation. Just observe the way they look at each other. The way Jimin waits. The way Jungkook responds. The way their hands meet in the middle. That is a story not written with a pen, but with the heart. When love, care, and comfort are natural parts of a relationship, they become visible even in the smallest acts. There's no need for declarations. The world can speak, the media can speculate, but only they know what's truly in their hearts. And perhaps, that's what always makes Jikook feel special. They don't need to explain. They just need to be there, and we, watching, can feel it too. More than just a handhold. That handhold may have lasted only a few seconds. But in those seconds, the world seemed to pause. Fans watching through their screens felt as if they were right there. There was a warmth that spread, a calmness that enveloped, a hope that blossomed. To many, that moment served as a confirmation. That affection built on sincerity never truly fades. That their closeness isn't an illusion. That what the eyes see reflects something much deeper. A bond unbroken by time, distance, or fame. And maybe, it's a reminder for all of us. That in our fast-paced, busy lives, we all need someone who will wait. Someone who doesn't just rush ahead, but turns around to make sure we're not left behind. Not the stage lights. Not the fan chants. But the silence between them, the meaningful handhold, and the way Jimin waited for Jungkook, that's what touched fans' hearts. Sometimes, love doesn't need words. It only needs to be present, in its simplest form. Like waiting beside a car. Or reaching out your hand when the world is watching. And through it all, Jikook shows us that love doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be real. Because in the end, what lasts isn't the grand concerts or global fame. But the quiet handhold that says, I'm here. I'm with you. Sometimes, love doesn't need to be announced. It doesn't need complex stories or grand declarations. Sometimes, love simply shows up in the most unassuming ways. A delayed step for someone. A simple gesture that says, in this chaotic world, you are not alone. And Jikook, they remind us of that. That moment may have lasted only a few seconds. But to us who saw it, it's proof that true love isn't about how big or small the event is, but how deeply it's felt. So, how did you feel seeing the moment Jimin waited for Jungkook? Did you feel the warmth of a love that's unspoken but shown? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more heartwarming Jikook moments. See you in the next video, where love doesn't need to be announced. It just needs to be felt. This is Jikook Moment, and this is real.